in my generation and the generation before, sometimes we were ashamed of being Iñupiaq and speaking our language or anything like that. The younger generation, they're very bold, and they are just going to do what they're going to do. And if they want to learn, they're going to do it. If they want to do something, they're going to do it. If they see something that's not right, they're going to stand up for it.
I think everybody has leadership potential, no matter where they're at. They can lead from the middle, they could lead from the bottom and lead within, whether it's in an organization that they're formally a part of or even in their village and throughout their family. I think anybody could rise to leadership, and I think that's what's so cool about Leadership Thru Generations is we want our students to lead from within, because this generation from our young adults all the way until they graduate have so much power and potential to shift and change the conversations that we're having and the things that we're doing, because they have great ideas. So we're excited to work with that demographic of students because we know that they're leaders already. We just want to give them a platform to lead in.
The Lead Gen project does two things. We do culture sharing and we do leadership building. So when it started, it was just basically an idea in 2021. And I began to think about what the youth of our region need to help the leaders be built up into leadership and also know the Iñupiaq spirit of how we do things, our value system, our subsistence, and how we can integrate that into the Western business model. The other thing we needed at the Trust was hands on deck to be able to get all of the language and culture products that we need out there. We create resources for our people, and we have a lot to do. So I wanted to make sure that we had people that were learning their culture by doing the work of language and culture.
I think having a mixture between our Iñupiaq ways and the Western ways in the workplace is key, because that was the vision of our founders, not just of Aqqaluk Trust, but of NANA. They wanted us to walk in two worlds with one spirit. So being able to have our Iñupiaq values as the foundation and bring in the Western technical skills is huge.
A long time ago, our people ran by the value system that we have. And then we have all, the Western people came in and they really kind of overtook the way that we did things. And that has been really prevalent in our organizations right now. And it's, to me, the organizations aren't as successful because they haven't integrated these values into their workplace. We're living on our ground. We're working for our people from this area. I think it's really important that our young people learn both Iñupiaq values and Western models of working, because you're not going to be successful if you know one or the other, not as an Iñupiaq leader. So we want to make sure that they see how you can put humility into your work, how you can put how family roles make sense in the office space when we're all working as a team. All of those things are very important, and it really can set an organization apart if their employees really follow this value system as well as working in this Western world.
I think it's important because we can gain knowledge in both areas, and I can learn more about our language and culture while also gaining work experience and learning new skills for the workplace.
When we first started working here, that's when we learned. That's when they gave us insight about Aqqaluk Trust and the Western ways and our ways, the Iñupiaq values. And I think it's really important to implement those values because that's who we are, that's who our ancestors used to be.
I've noticed that in our villages, there's always those youth that step up, and they're the ones that bubble up into leadership naturally, and they help their communities. They do really well in school. They're determined to be someone and come back and help their communities. They've worked through things like coping skills and self-discipline, and those are the ones that I really want to pull aside and help them and really raise them up to become Iñupiaq leaders for our next generation.
I think to be an Iñupiaq leader, it means you take into account the Iñupiaq values, and you use all of them in coordination with one another to make your decisions and choices. It's about caring for one another, respecting one another, cooperating with one another, having humility, knowing your role, all of those things.
Some characteristics of an Iñupiaq leader, in my view, should hold cultural knowledge, values, learn how to communicate in the community that they're in search for, and investing your time in them.
We do have daily discussions with our interns to develop these different ways of knowledge. I want to make sure that these young leaders who are our future leaders also really know how to subsist, what is climate change, how to advocate, how to have critical thinking skills, our language, and what our value systems are, because it's important for a leader to have those if they're representing us as Iñupiaq.
Ooh, my favorite discussions with our interns have been the ones that really challenge them to think about the outside world. We've had many conversations about climate and Arctic impact, and some of our students hadn't even been exposed to the topic. So giving them the history lesson of not just the topic, but what our stance has been as people of the Northwest Arctic, but also what the global impacts are of our stance in pulling back and taking back our power.
My favorite discussion so far in this program was talking about tokenism. Really, at the end of the day, you have to see that some people may use you in other ways that might not really benefit you.
One of the meetings, we watched a documentary about how outsiders were trying to tell us what's good for our people when we're the ones who have lived here for thousands of years and know the land and know what's good for us and what's not.
I think one thing that I learned, one big thing is de-siloing, breaking down, and instead of staying as one, when we could all be coming together instead of trying to have this shield, oh, I don't know you, but we all come from the same people, that's our ancestors, and I really think de-siloing will bring us all together and expand our knowledge.
So we want to definitely challenge our interns to develop and grow beyond their comfort zone, but we also want them to thrive in areas that they've already pinpointed as areas of expertise for them. We have shareholders who have talents in media. We have ones that have talents in developing huge community events, and we want them to thrive in the areas that they're comfortable in, but we always want to push them and pull them beyond their comfort zone, because they might like a whole different area and they just haven't been exposed to it yet. So even with some of our interns, we've had them in areas that they've never experienced before, and we want to push them past those bounds, because in a traditional work environment, they're gonna have to do things that they're not comfortable with. So we want to develop them and challenge them to grow in their leadership.
I was motivated to apply for this internship program because there was a unique blend of leadership and the ability to take in my own skills and passions and turn them into something that was valuable for the trust. So we worked with Karina and Lucy, our leaders, individually to talk to them about what our desires were for work, what our passions were, what our goals for the futures were. And with that, we worked together to find a unique position for ourselves as leaders and interns within the program.
We're helping our interns see projects through from conception all the way to ending, whether that's budget, timelines, project management, getting things ordered and shipped on time. So we're super excited that we're helping them develop those skills in an environment that's supportive and caring versus something that has huge financial implications later in their careers.
I think another thing that's really unique about this internship is that it's not based on menial tasks. So we're not spending a bunch of time doing filing, running errands for people, grabbing coffee. We're actually getting into the nitty-gritty with the work. And I think that that is something that's really unique about this internship.
The other hope of our program is that we create a model that can be used by other people who do other age groups and even in other regions, because this is a model that can be used and be adjusted to wherever it's being done.
This has contributed to my personal and professional growth by being able to learn more about culture and more about being in a workplace, and I get to be more knowledgeable about our culture in order to help our people.
I think one thing that is really unique about this internship is the support that is given. I really feel a lot of support, whether it's something I'm doing with work or my personal life. There's just a whole lot of support coming from all of the individuals that are here at this program.
I applied for this program again because I feel like it really sets a standard, like a higher standard in our community of what an office job should be like. Also, it involves cultural activities, cultural knowledge, and investing into your community and hard work.
This role really gave me the chance to really just engage with my culture in general. Now I'm doing that every single day within the internship program, and I think that that has really allowed me to integrate more of the Iñupiaq, more of the Iñupiaq values, more of my identity. Even just the fact that we use our Iñupiaq names with one another is something that has really solidified that identity within me as an Iñupiaq individual and a leader.
My name is Lucy Iñupiaq Boyd.
My name is Starkek.
My name is Segunik.
My Iñupiaq name is Besak.
I think some of the qualities that we look for in our interns is a spirit of learning, because we want to be able to have our interns be able to learn our Iñupiaq, because we know that a lot of them haven't been exposed to it just because the school system that we have doesn't really teach them. So we want to look for folks who are willing to learn our Iñupiaq values, but also step into leadership.
To young people who really want to step out into leadership, I would say accept the task. Accept the task before you and let your fear drive you. I know I was so shy and had a lot of insecurities and that kind of thing. And sometimes if you just do it and just take the initiative to accomplish one thing and then the other and then the other and then the other, you gain that confidence. And so accept the tasks that are put before you. And then you'll see that you can do it, and then you keep going forward and you'll gain confidence. So if you see yourself or someone else sees you as our next leaders or a leader now, I encourage you to apply to our internship, because we can help develop that and bring you from, we're kind of a bridge into the next place in your career, whether it be school or internship, maybe down in Virginia with Aqqaluk or something like that. We want to be able to develop those skills and help you gain confidence so that you can move forward with what you've always wanted to do.
I believe if our youth were more exposed to our culture, language, and Iñupiaq values, that our youth would crave our subsistence lifestyles, our projects, and the way of life here. And if they were to learn about it, they'd want some more of it. Like, they'd rather be outside than be on their phone, be with their aunts and tatas, like just learning from them. Like, when I was exposed to our culture and language, that's what I wanted to do, was just to keep learning and gaining more knowledge about it before we can't.